Warning, the following podcast has been recorded for your pleasure, but not in that way, you dirty bastards. It's just disgusting. Just like these guys.
Welcome to FairlyOddCast. I'm Adam Watts.
And I'm Mark, too legit to quit La Valley.
Now, I know we kind of promised a continuation of the Moncton stories, but we thought we'd kind of take a little bit of a break from the trilogy to talk about the final part of another trilogy that just came out on Tuesday.
It's almost like we're doing what South Park did with the first Terrence and Phillip movie. Or show. Like, we're promising who Cartman's dad was, but instead, here's Terrence and Phillip, fuck you.
Yeah, that's kind of sounds like us. So we're going to devote this whole episode to Batman. More specifically, Dark Knight Rises, but Batman nonetheless. I know no one can see me, but I even wore my Batman t-shirt for this.
Excellent.
You know, visual quality, even for audio. But it also lets us do something I haven't been able to do in a few weeks, which is whip out our geek intro.
Yay!
That's a huge geek.
God, I love having any reason to play that intro.
It's an excellent intro.
So, Dark Knight Rises. We both went to see it. Midnight showing opening night.
Yep.
Because we love Batman.
We went to... Where did we go over that? Did we go to Sackville or did we go to Bears Lake?
No, we just went to Sackville.
Yeah, all right.
It's close to home. We don't like to travel far.
It's true.
Plus, the time it would take to get home from Bears Lake after leaving a movie at 3 o'clock in the morning when we all have to work the next day.
Yeah, after, what was it, like 2.5?
The movie's 2 hours, 45 minutes.
2:45, yeah.
Now, I don't think you've watched it again since, though, have you?
I have, actually. I took one of my nephews to it.
Excellent. So you're multiple times, I'm multiple times into it.
Yep.
So
I was hanging around one night, and my sister-in-law had one of her kids home. The other one was off to a sleepover or whatever. So I'm like, you know what? I'll treat the other one. Let's go to Batman.
Excellent. Before we talk about it, I got 2 top 5s. Do you want to hear them?
Sure.
All right. I did a top 5 Joker and a top 5 Batman / Bruce Wayne.
All right. Actually, you know what? Skip it. I don't want to hear them.
Fuck you.
All right.
You're going to hear them.
All right.
These, unlike all our other top 5 lists,
Yep.
These ones are actually in order from 5 to 1.
Right. So this is like best to worst or worst to best.
Worst to best.
Yeah.
We're going to start with the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Michael Emerson.
Okay.
Ben Linus from Lost.
Yep.
Now, I've only heard him do one line as Batman so far at the end of Dark Knight Returns, because he's mostly in the second part, but I loved it so much that he makes the list.
And that's the cartoon, the Frank Miller one, right?
Right.
Which I've seen now on DVD.
Yep.
In places.
All he says is, Batman?
Yeah.
Darling.
Nice.
Perfect. Number 4, Cesar Romero.
Classic Joker right there.
He has one of the best Joker laughs. And he refused to shave his mustache for the part.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's always great right there. Number 3, Jack Nicholson.
Yep.
That movie doesn't hold up.
No, I find him harder to watch now as compared to when it first came out.
Oh, when it first came out, he was the
brilliant.
end-all, be-all.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Even leading in to Dark Knight
Returns.
Dark Knight. No, just Dark Knight.
Oh, yeah, right.
It's like, well, how is anyone going to match what Nicholson did? That's because we all didn't bother going back to watch the 1989 Batman to realize, oh, yeah, someone can match it.
I've seen it on TV, not too far away from seeing Heath do it. I don't know if it was before or after, but, Space showed it one night or something. And, yeah, it was definitely for the times, it was brilliant. But, yeah, you're right.
The whole movie just doesn't hold up.
No,
Not just him, just the whole movie.
Keaton's still good as Batman and Wayne, but the whole movie itself... Because, you think the Joel Schumacher ones became almost
garbage.
Caricatures of themselves, like just ridiculous. But in comparison, the first two, like the Burton just playing Batman, for the time, you would think, yeah, it's darker.
Well, it's the first dark Batman you get to see on TV. or a movie.
Yeah. And then you watch it in comparison to the Nolan verse, and it's not even a comparison.
No, not at all. Number 2, Heath Ledger.
Of course.
Like, that's just that
It was brilliant.
It was.
Him dying or not made no change. I know some people elevated his performance because he died.
And it made more money because he died. People
Yeah.
went to see it because it was the last thing he did.
Well,
Technically.
technically.
Let's not talk about the other final movie that he did.
Yeah. But yeah, no, him dying or not dying, I don't think had an impact on his performance, because either way it was absolutely brilliant.
Like, I loved the evilness of him.
Mm-hmm.
I missed a little bit. He needed a little bit more laughing.
Yeah, I could see it.
Because that part where he's going to take off Batman's cowl and it shocks the guy and he starts laughing and jumping around.
It was awesome.
Like, that's the Joker you've always wanted to see.
Mhm.
But there just wasn't quite enough of that.
I really enjoyed the scene between him and Batman in jail as well.
When he's telling him how to torture him properly and beat him up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I don't hit him in the head.
Yeah.
You get all fuzzy.
Excellent stuff.
And I'm guessing people are probably wondering where I'm going with number 1. But you shouldn't.
No, I'm
Because
guessing. Can I say it?
You can say it.
It's Mark Hamill.
Oh, for fucking sure.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill is my Joker. Because
he's done it the most, hasn't he? The longest / the most.
oh, for sure.
2 video games at least. Arkham City and Arkham Asylum.
Yep.
Plus how many years of the cartoon?
I think there was 5 seasons of that show.
Yeah, so he's got Batman on lock.
Plus movies.
Or Joker on lockdown.
Plus movies. I mean, and that's just, when you hear him talk as the Joker, that's the Joker.
Of course, the sad thing about that is that Arkham City was his last Joker performance.
And his best. The
Yeah.
end, that stuff during the credits of that game.
Yeah.
Spoilers if you haven't played Arkham City yet. And shame on you if you haven't played
Yeah.
Arkham City and you're a Batman fan. But when
There might have been some particularly dumb douchebags out there waiting for the Wii U version.
oh, fuck Wii U. But when he's already dead, and I said spoilers, so don't blame me.
Yep.
And Batman's listening to his voicemail, and it's just Joker singing to him.
Yeah.
Oh, creepy and sad all at the same time.
I understand that artists get bored of doing things. Like, they want to quit playing a certain character because they've been doing it for so long. But voiceover work, to me, seems like it would be a lot easier than acting. Like playing a character that's got to be filming for hours every week on a TV show. Or I don't understand why you'd give it like such a plum gig up.
I mean, maybe he saw how the game was ending and made the decision, well, if Joker's going to die in this game, why not take the perfect opportunity to end it for me doing it?
Yeah,
and give it to somebody else.
What if they were to bring back a cartoon Joker?
He's passing the torch.
Yeah, I don't think he should have.
Me neither, but, who knows? Maybe the next guy will be awesome. Like Michael Emerson is going to be awesome, I think.
Yeah.
He's playing an older Joker.
Yep.
But still, and a much different Joker than that, but I think he's going to be good. So that's the top 5 Joker list. Top 5 Bruce
Batman?
Wayne / Batman. Because I took Bruce Wayne into consideration for this. Especially for number 5.
Well, you'd have to, because in some of the movies he's obviously Wayne more often than he's Batman.
Right. So, number 5, George Clooney. I thought he was an amazing Bruce Wayne and Batman. He just got stuck with a shitty movie and bat nipples.
Yeah, he did. He got stuck with a really shitty movie.
Like, if they ever made a live action Dark Knight Returns and they need an older Bruce Wayne, I would love Clooney's got to be, 40, 50 now?
He's got to be in his 50s by now, I'd say.
So
I have no idea, though.
Give it 10, 15 years and let him play Bruce Wayne in a Dark Knight Returns live action movie. Awesome.
Well,
Let him have redemption.
why even wait 10 or 15 years? I mean,
I guess you could age him.
makeup-wise, they could age him easily
It's
enough.
true, but we don't need a Dark Knight Returns.
He's already got the gray hair.
We don't need a Dark Knight Returns movie now, though.
No, not right now.
Number 4, Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Bet you're surprised he's that low on the list.
I'm not, because the Nolan movies were brilliant. All of them were good in their own way, but
not because of Batman.
no, I always found Christian Bale's voice as Batman is the worst.
It is, because he's doing it the exact opposite way that everybody else does it, where Batman's the real voice, Bruce Wayne is the fake voice.
Yeah.
Because Batman is who he really is. Bruce Wayne
is
the cover.
Is his disguise.
Just like Superman. When he's Superman, that's his voice.
Yep.
When he's Clark Kent, he's dumbing it down.
Yep. So I did, that was one of my big, and I don't have many issues with those three movies at all, but that was an issue. I thought, wow, that's really, his voice is terrible.
And it just got worse. It got deeper.
It did, yeah. And more raspy. Anyway.
Number 3.
3.
Michael Keaton.
Mm-hmm.
He's our first.
He deserves also always to be on the list because he was the first.
He's not the first.
No, but the first
darker
modern era
So yeah,
movie Batman.
I thought he was good. Again,
he was excellent as Bruce Wayne.
Yes, he was very excellent. Just like George Clooney was excellent as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, like you see Michael Keaton physically, normally, and you think to yourself, really, Batman, that guy, Mr. Mom,
Beetlejuice is playing Batman. What the fuck?
Exactly. But yeah, no, excellent Bruce Wayne that guy was.
Number 2, Pure West.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. West. I mean, that's all of our first introduction to Batman
is Adam West.
Yep. I mean, you can't take that away from any, or at least anyone our age. I mean, I don't know anyone we know who would have seen the Batman movie before they'd seen the Batman TV show.
No, which, you mean like the Keaton Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Like, that's, I mean...
Nobody our age, I don't think.
I mean, do you remember being little, and watching Batman, like, obviously reruns, because we weren't born in the fucking 60s.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was the greatest thing on television to us.
Probably.
But now that we're older, you can watch it and enjoy it just as much as you did when you were a kid, only it's not serious to you now.
No,
you see the
reasons.
comedic value in it. Like, I think that was done on purpose. I don't think it's campy. Like, when you go back and watch old TV shows and they just don't hold, like, I can't watch Dukes of Hazzard anymore.
No,
it just
that
sucks.
show is effing terrible.
But you watch the 1960s Batman and it's still brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, bat repellent spray. And some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. And that line's gonna come back later, too.
Yeah.
So remember that. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
No, you can't.
And number 1 on the list is the same as my Joker list. It's Kevin Conroy. That's my voice of Batman. And again, that's the perfect example of Batman is done pretty much in his regular voice. A little bit deeper, but very close to his regular voice. And then he tightens it up for Bruce Wayne. So Bruce Wayne is the acting and Batman's the real voice.
Yep.
But that's it for my top 5 lists.
Good lists.
I don't know who else would. Obviously Val Kilmer's not making the Batman list, and I don't know any of the other actors who've played Batman besides in Dark Knight Returns. I've lost his name. He was RoboCop.
Oh, Peter
Weller.
There you go. I was gonna say Muller, so
I can't remember any from the other shows or movies. So obviously that's why they're not on the list.
Fair enough.
All right, let's get back to our movie. We both loved it that night.
Yes, we did.
Almost cry-worthy love.
Yeah.
Like, almost shed a tear. The movie's over.
Opening night, the only issue I had was occasionally not being able to understand Bane. And I think it was a combination of two things. I mean, obviously, it was somewhat intentional because of the mask, but I think the volume didn't help.
You know what? You're right. In the theater, his voice was quite low.
And so yeah, I think that was really my only real gripe.
Now, after watching it a few more times, I still love that movie,
Yep.
but it's a shitty movie.
It does have some... It drags. There's no question of that.
It does.
You probably could have cut that last 45 or at least half an hour out of it and tightened it up.
Probably, but I think about that, and when I watched it last night again, there's nothing really where I could say, I guess you could just take a couple minutes here, a couple minutes there, but there's no scenes I would want cut out. Nothing like that.
No.
But just, so many little things that just bug the shit out of me. We're going to spoil the hell out of this movie, so if you haven't watched it,
Go fuck yourself.
go
Where have
watch
you
it,
been?
and then come back to this spot in the podcast. Because all our plot problems and little things are going to spoil it.
Yep.
First, let's start with taking 8 fucking years off.
Yes.
That, like, what the fuck? And why did he take 8 years off? Because the girl who didn't love him died.
Yep. Oh, don't forget, crime was supposedly solved.
Well, organized crime was solved.
True.
But the girl you love dies and you take 8 years off. Do you remember what made you Batman?
Yeah.
Was the vengeance of your parents dying.
Yeah. The 2 other people you loved the most in your life died, so you became Batman. And some chick that you thought you loved, did love, dies. Oh, I can't be Batman anymore.
I can't go on. Rachel, I love you. And I mean, really, are you that sad to see Maggie Gyllenhaal go? Rachel, you've let yourself go. Why do you look like a man?
Yeah. She doesn't look that bad. Come on now.
She looks good sometimes, and other times she looks really bad. She's really two-faced, I find.
Yeah.
Like in Stranger Than Fiction, that Will Ferrell movie, I think she's absolutely gorgeous in that movie.
I've only seen snippets of that. But...
In The Dark Knight, ugly. The only explanation I can have for the 8 years is to give the Joseph Gordon-Levitt character
time to grow up.
Oh,
and don't forget his knee was sore.
Oh, with the limp. He ran away at the end of Dark Knight pretty easily.
And he couldn't find a razor.
And he learned archery.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the only explanation I can have for taking 8 years off, is to give his character time to grow up, which brings me to point number 2 that I hate. He knows who fucking Batman is. Because he's an orphan too. And he saw that Bruce Wayne's smile was fake when he visited him in the orphanage 8 years ago.
Yeah, that is one of the dumbest plot holes in the movie. Your smile is fake. Oh, Christ's sake, you must be fucking Batman.
Like what the fuck?
The goddamn Batman. Yeah, no, that was yeah, he pieced that together way too easily for some street rat that became a cop. It was a little silly.
I think that's enough Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Detective Blake bitching for now.
Yes.
Let's say something really good about this movie. Fucking Bane. I have nothing to say bad about Bane.
No, as far as it goes, they kept him as realistic as they could have, I think.
And they made him
compared to every other time, like comic book Bane and video game Bane, with the Venom thing and the tubes all over him and all that crap. So, and the green eyeballs
and they made him smart like he was in the comics. That's why he's Batman's biggest adversary, because he's as smart as Batman
and stupid strong.
Yeah, he's not stupid strong in the movie though. He's strong
enough. He breaks concrete with his fist.
And I think a lot of that is he doesn't feel any pain too.
Yeah,
so a lot you can do. I mean, you have the strength to do it. That's one thing, but you're going to feel the pain from doing it.
Yeah, if it doesn't hurt your hand, you're fine.
Right.
Yeah, Bane was brilliant.
Loved the voice. I loved the mask.
The mask was really well done, actually.
He was great.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that he's sitting there at one point giving speeches, and you don't see anything but him on screen, and you can't see his lips moving. And he's reading a letter. He's basically reading the script to us.
Yeah.
And I had no problem with it.
Not at all.
Yet in Spider-Man, when it's Spider-Man and Green Goblin, I complain about how much it's like watching a Power Rangers episode.
Yeah, Green Goblin was particularly terrible.
I think it's because they moved their heads too much when they were talking, where Bane wasn't moving his head for movement's sake to
no,
show
he
that
talks
he was
like a person with a mask on.
Yeah, he talked like you would without the mask on, but with a mask on.
Yeah.
And in a very cool voice.
Yep.
Which my impression's not ready yet.
I was going to say, don't do it.
I'm not going to. I've done enough. I got enough Christian Bale impressions in me tonight that will save Bane for another night. But I mean, I loved that. I loved him. Let's get back to some other terrible things about it, though.
I kind of just thought of one as we were sitting here. When it was discovered or thought that there were hooligans in the sewers, and it was decided, well, let's go find them. Was it not discussed that there were hundreds of tunnels that they could be in? Or am I making that up?
Well, that was at the beginning. They said where will we even begin to look?
Right. So,
but they sent down 3,000 police officers.
Yeah,
That's the end. You've skipped way to the end of this movie.
But I'm just going back to another point where all those tunnels, do they all lead to that one spot where Gordon got flushed out?
No. But from where they are, that's where...
Conveniently, that's where he ends up, just so, again, Levitt can find him.
Levitt's obviously working on becoming the world's second greatest detective.
Yeah, obviously. Without a costume. He's the greatest detective without a costume.
Like, I don't know. But I mean...
Anyway, that was just a small one.
But you could say that he knows the kid went down. The body they found, the beginning where he knew the kid, was working for Bane. So if he knows, he's assuming Gordon's captured by Bane. So I don't think he's going to find Gordon. He's going to go in that way to try to get Gordon back. It just happens.
I don't know.
Been
It
shot.
seemed to me like he was going right there. Gordon's going to end up right here.
No, I think he was going that way to go into the tunnels.
All right.
But
moving on.
God, I can't get past the 8 years. I can't get past how little over the course of 3 movies he's actually Batman.
Especially in this one.
Especially this one, because he's only Batman for, a handful of days before he fights Bane.
And gets his ass kicked.
And then he's gone for at least 4 months.
Yeah.
Because
in the pit.
Because when he gets out of the pit, there's only 23 days left, and he gets there on the last day.
Yeah.
So the bomb had 5 months, but we don't know how long before that and him going to prison are. But we'll say, but it doesn't matter. He's only Batman for a handful of days, and then he comes back for 1 day as Batman.
Yeah.
Now, between Batman Begins and Dark Knight, Joker specifically says, a year ago, before the Batman, these police lawyers wouldn't have messed with you. So there we can assume he's been Batman for a year.
Yes.
Now, here's where we have to do some guesswork of how long the Dark Knight is. Like, how long does he fight the Joker for in that movie? Give it a couple of weeks, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
Because everything happens pretty quick. I mean,
It does, yeah.
There's nothing in it to say that this is going on for a long period of time.
Yeah, there's no, subtitle in the movie. It's 6 months later.
So
none of that.
We'll give it a year. Let's say it happens over 2 months.
Yeah.
So he's officially been Batman for 1 year and 2 months and a few days.
Yep.
That's it. That's not a lifetime of fighting crime.
No, it's not. But at the same time, they probably wanted to stay away from the little crimes, like in the Keaton Batman where he stopped a couple of little things.
But that's what Batman does. Batman stops all crime.
He does.
He patrols all night. He doesn't just go out when there's big shit to do.
But
he's out all night.
But that's not what the movie's about. The movie's about the big shit.
That's all Batman seems to have to do is the big shit. There is no petty crime in Gotham. There's only organized crime.
That's true.
And supervillains.
Yes.
A rogues gallery, if you will.
Ooh.
Nice. Haha.
One of them who was a psychiatrist with a burlap sack on his head.
I love Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Scarecrow is one of my favorite.
He was done really well, but still,
He was done well in that, and he's just one of my favorite characters, period.
Yeah.
Because he always leads to interesting storylines where they're hallucinating things.
Mm-hmm. Man, there's some crazy Scarecrow moments in Arkham City.
Yes.
The video game, man. That's
where you're walking on a weird angle and there's your parents' bodies. And
yeah. And
the giant Scarecrow.
The giant Scarecrow that you have to fight. It's pretty cool stuff.
I like that he made a little return.
He was a shining point in the movie. That was him as the judge was brilliant.
You know who would have been a better judge, though? Joker.
Well, yeah, but
I know it can't be done.
It can't be done, number one, because of Heath, of course, and I don't think they would have wanted to go down that road.
No.
But secondly, with the Joker
would have made way more sense as the judge.
But would he have played that much of a minor fiddle to Bane?
Yes, because he's just a terrorist. He's an urban terrorist in the Nolan verse.
Yeah, but I think he would have been more obsessed with fucking with Batman, not sending people out.
There is no Batman. You got to remember, when he's the judge, there is no Batman.
I suppose.
Batman's gone again. In a prison. In a hole. In some faraway country. Which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
Because I know even coming out of that movie when we loved it, you hated that.
Yeah, like, how the fuck did he get home?
Why does he lose all his money and they shut off his power the next day in the winter?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they couldn't turn your power off in the winter.
Well,
and
yeah.
usually don't they give you a few months of not paying your bills?
You're talking as a Canadian, though.
Okay.
Maybe it's different in the States. Maybe the moment you don't pay your power bill in the States, they just shut it off.
And repossess your car?
Yep.
It's just... I know it had to happen to show that he's broke.
Yes.
But that also leads to he had no money to get back from whatever foreign country.
Maybe there was a day or two they forgot to mention in between that, too.
Maybe.
Or maybe he went broke the day before the bill was due.
You know what? It's totally possible, because that's wintertime. Where it's colder, it's like 'cause he needs to light a fire for heat. Yet the party at the beginning is definitely a warmer evening. Because everyone's just outside. And
yeah, but did he start a fire to keep him and... Miranda, yeah. No, was it Miranda? No. Was that her name?
Yeah.
Talia's fake name?
Yep.
All right. To keep them warm, or was it just to inspire boning fire?
It might be just a bit inspire boning fire, so.
That and some light.
Yeah, because 5 months later, it's snowy and cold after that, so.
Yeah.
We don't have 5 months winters anymore.
Definitely.
Not even in Chicago. Or Pittsburgh. Oh, I can't remember where they filmed it. It's based on Chicago, though, Gotham is, isn't it?
I thought Gotham was New York.
Metropolis is New York.
You sure?
Yeah.
But don't they call New York Gotham in other things?
Doesn't matter.
Anyway.
In the DC universe, Metropolis is New York. And Gotham's like either Pittsburgh or Chicago-like. That's why it's a little darker.
All right.
Seedier.
Take your word on that. I may have to Google that when I get home.
Google it. I think I'm right.
Yeah, we'll see.
But like we always say, if you're coming here for facts, you're in the wrong fucking place.
You sure are.
Because we don't check anything.
We don't research shit.
That would be like this is a job.
Yeah.
Instead of our excuse to hang out once a week.
Like, yeah. We're pretending like we're legit journalists or something stupid.
Should we talk about Autopilot? That couldn't have been more foreshadowed through an entire movie than if you just put the words Autopilot means something in big bold words on the screen.
I don't have as much of a problem with the Autopilot thing as everybody else does.
I just hate how much it was mentioned. That, pay attention, this is going to be key. Autopilot. Did you fix the autopilot? I don't know what you're talking about. Autopilot. Autopilot.
It wasn't mentioned that much. I didn't. Yeah. That's not a sticking point for me.
It's just one of those things. It's like when you have.
I
Remember
would-
the first Final Destination movie, when you already can figure out that death
How
is
they're gonna
chasing
die?
that
Yeah.
death is chasing them down.
Yeah.
And then halfway through the movie, Tony Todd, Candyman, is a mortician who explains it
Yeah.
straight face into the camera for all the stupid people in the audience who didn't get it.
Yeah.
I think when we went to the theaters and saw that, that's the first movie I almost walked out on.
Are you sure it was that one? I thought it might have been the sequel that Matt Young wanted to go to for his birthday.
No,
movie.
he wanted to go to Final Destination for his
Was it?
birthday. I've never seen any
Oh,
of the
well,
sequels.
I remember specifically that you and I both sat on end seats
Mhm.
because you were on one of us was on the wall aisle and one of us was in the middle aisle.
I was in the wall aisle.
And all we did was laugh.
Yeah.
The whole way through.
And I remember there's a false ending to it. You think it's over. I put on my coat, I stood up, and the movie starts again. And it's the first time I've ever yelled out in a movie theater, "Fuck, really?"
Yeah.
And sat back down. Cigarettes still hanging out of my mouth, ready to light, because I just want the hell out of there.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't good. Final Destination. And what are they up to now? 5 or 6
Oh, I
of
don't
those?
have no idea. There's a
Pieces of
3D
trash.
one, wasn't there?
I
Just
think so.
recently?
Yeah, because everything has to be in 3D now.
Yeah, it does. Back to Batman, Dark Knight
Mhm.
Rises. The ADD again, brother. The
Yeah.
ADD. I need something else good about this movie. I mean, I love this movie as a whole. Like, I can't stress that enough, how much I enjoy this movie.
Yep.
We're just picking it apart for
Funsies.
funsies. Preggers.
I'll bring up a positive thing. It's the end of the movie, but
Yeah, let's
and
just jump around. We're not
maybe
going
more
we're-
people. Maybe more people than I did because I didn't pay attention to anything about the movie. Beforehand.
Oh, beforehand. Okay.
Like no, I didn't watch.
I just sat there,
any trailers.
thumb in my ass.
Any trailers. Read many articles, anything like that. I did not see Talia coming at all.
No, you didn't, which was awesome.
It was fantastic. It was a brilliant twist for somebody that wasn't expecting it.
Even though I knew it was coming, I was still surprised that it's her that climbs out of the pit.
Right.
Like,
Well, you only saw it coming because you saw something to do with casting, wasn't it?
yeah.
On the net.
Well, there was a little girl, the little
Yeah.
girl who plays her,
That's
said it
right.
in an interview that she was playing Talia.
Right.
So it's like, fuck, well, that's ruined.
Exactly.
So-
See, and I never saw that, which, makes that twist just awesome. Like, holy shit, Talia al Ghul. Beautiful.
You know, little Liam Neeson cameo in it as well, which is great.
Yeah, that was interesting and decent.
It's just, I mean, it's a good movie, but there's just, I wouldn't recommend it to
Oh.
someone who doesn't just love the trilogy. of
Let's shit
movies.
on it again.
All right.
Bane.
Oh, gets punked out at the fucking end
When he
again.
gets punked out at the end like a little bitch.
He doesn't even get killed by Batman. Well, I mean, he can't get killed by Batman because Batman wouldn't kill him.
No. But at least Batman would beat him enough to subdue him.
Right.
No.
No. Catwoman shoots him.
Catwoman.
with
No, sorry.
Selena Kyle
Not even Catwoman. The cat burglar.
shoots him with the Bat Pod. Don't even get me started on the Bat Pod because I've hated that since the previous movie. I think that's stupid. I hate the Tumbler. I hate his vehicles in all of the movies.
I don't mind the Tumbler.
I think it's just ridiculous that he's driving a tank down the street all the time.
I didn't mind that because of the, what was his name? Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucius.
Because of his job in that whole R&D department, that made perfect sense to me.
It does.
It may have looked a little stupid,
It makes sense, but it just looks stupid to me.
but
And then when it
was a
blows up in the
perfect-
Dark Knight and becomes the motorcycle, is like
yeah,
really
the motorcycle part was
a little much.
a little much, especially because you'd have to think when the military commissioned it to be a bridge building vehicle.
Well, no, I mean that's obviously an add-on from
Yeah.
from Lucius and Bruce.
Which just seems near impossible. But anyway, apparently the real life version of that thing was the most difficult and dangerous thing to drive on the planet.
Of the Bat Pod?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what I heard.
So, yeah. No, I didn't have a problem with, I mean...
What about with the Bat?
The fact that that's what he called it before it was even a Bat vehicle was a little dumb. Because it looks nothing like a Bat.
No, it does.
Not at all.
And it does come in...
It looks like a tumbler with no wheels.
No, that's exactly what it looks like. I think it's pretty much what it is, a tumbler with no wheels.
It can fly. It was...
And it
I
does
mean,
come in black.
Yeah, it does come in black. I mean, looking back again to Keaton Batman, it's a far better flying vehicle than the Batwing.
Oh, that just
plane.
look like the Bat symbol?
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, I get some of the comics, that's what his stuff looked like. You know, the Batmobile had fins to look like wings, and the bat plane has to look like a bat. I get that. It's a comic, but it was a little much for the movie, I think.
Just talking about the Batmobile. Barrett Jackson in January,
Yeah.
the original Batmobile goes up for auction.
Oh, really? Like the West Batmobile?
The number one George Peros. Is it George Peros
I think so.
that designed it?
Maybe. It's a familiar name. I know the name.
Or is George Peros a hockey player?
Anyway,
George Barris?
doesn't matter.
Whatever. It's the number one hero car. Like, it's the one they used for the close-ups. He's owned it since the show ended. He's owned it. He took it back.
Really?
And he's old now, like his 80s or something like that, so he's going to sell it. It's got a reserve. No one knows what the reserve is.
I imagine it does.
But they're figuring this car will go for multiple millions of dollars.
Yeah, I can see it. On a side note, discussing Batmobiles, the Tumbler was built by a company in the UK originally.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's going to be part of the episodes when they come back on TV in January, but the guys at Top Gear got to play with it recently.
That's
on
excellent.
the Top Gear test track.
They took the Tumbler on the Top Gear test track?
Yeah, they totally did. So I'm really hoping when the show starts up again in January that there's footage of that, because I think that could be brilliant.
Yeah, that would be pretty good.
I mean, it's got like 450 horsepower or something stupid like that. I mean, it weighs...
Like, I have no idea why
ridiculous
I
amount.
don't watch Top Gear, because, I mean, I've watched a few episodes of Top Gear, and I love it, but I haven't bothered to go watch all the other episodes I haven't watched. That would make me watch it. Full show.
I mean, I've seen them all from when I first got Netflix. 9, 10, and 11, I think, were on there, and that's it. And that prompted me to download every other season. So, I've seen every one of them, pretty much. Including the one where Richard Hammond almost kills himself in a dragster. Like, horrific accident, kind of kills himself. So, that, I can't wait to see if it actually, like, if they actually try and take it out and do a lap against all the other supercars they've got up on their board.
I got the name right eventually.
Was it Barros?
Barris. George Barris.
George Barris.
So I said Peros, he is a hockey player. He's a tough guy hockey player.
Yeah, I was going to say, when you said hockey player, I started to agree.
So I checked that fact, and I eventually got there. A little slow, kind of like my math skills sometimes.
Yep.
But we do this late at night, so.
Quite often, yep.
So cut me some slack. I have no idea where we were. We were shitting on vehicles.
Yeah.
We were shitting on Catwoman. Oh, we weren't shitting on Catwoman yet, were we?
No, we hadn't touched Selena Kyle yet.
She was okay. She wasn't great. She wasn't bad. She was just meh. She was no Michelle Pfeiffer.
No.
She's no Julie Newmar.
No. But she does definitely get an honorable mention. But I mean, she had some great parts. You know, the back and forth with the guy in the bar
Was excellent.
was good. And then her cowering and pretending to be just some random bar skank so she can run away was also good.
Definitely a strong female role, I would say, for a movie, especially for a science or a comic book movie.
Yep.
where usually the female roles are Rachel Dawes.
Her little hat thing that conveniently kind of turned into cat ears was a little stupid.
You know what? I liked that because it gave her cat ears without giving her cat ears.
I suppose.
It's kind of like in the Punisher movies where the Punisher skull's really light on his shirt.
Yeah.
So he's not running around with this big giant white skull on his shirt.
Yeah, that's true.
Which would be stupid.
It would be.
But you need the skull on. I remember for both those movies, the directors didn't want the skull in it. They're like, you can't have a Punisher movie without the fucking skull.
No, because then it's just some guy that's killing people named Frank Castle.
Yeah. He needs the skull. And both times they did it well, just very faded version of it.
Yeah. So I guess there's really not a whole lot to shit on about Selena Kyle, really.
No, because it's unmemorable.
Yeah.
Like, besides the fact that she gets to kill Bane, which pisses me off. Like, I don't know.
He went out in such a bitch way. It's like
a grandiose bitch way, though, because it was a big explosion and a big shot, but still,
that's true.
He got shot by Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't want to shit on the movie anymore, but I got other stuff to shit on about it.
Yeah.
About the end. Well, I mean, the ending. What's your take on the ending of the movie?
I know what yours is, and mine's opposite. I think it's what happened.
You think there was 5 seconds left on the countdown clock before the bomb exploded, and he managed to get out of the way and be randomly sitting in a cafe in Florence.
I do.
I don't. I think he died. I think that's just Alfred remembering, because Alfred's already gone at this point, right? Because he's pissed Alfred off. He's fired him. They've had their blow up. I don't think he would let Alfred mourn for him the way he does at the end. And then just...
So why does he picture him with Selena?
Because he's just picturing something happy. Because all Alfred knows is the Wayne family. He doesn't know anything else. And he's lost them. He's let down Thomas Wayne.
Yeah, it's true. You won't convince me otherwise, though.
No, and you won't convince me that he lived. I just...
No. Until Nolan comes out and says, guess what? He was dead or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's an arguing point for everybody. Some people believe he lived. Some people believe he died. I just don't think it makes... If he comes out and tells me he's alive, I don't like the movie as much anymore. Because, I don't want to say it makes it unrealistic because it's a Batman movie.
Yeah.
But, you see him in the bat with 5 seconds to go before it explodes.
Yeah.
There's not enough time to get away from a nuclear explosion.
But an underwater one.
Did that look... You saw the explosion in the movie. Did that look like it was underwater?
Well, he dropped the bomb.
It was a giant mushroom cloud.
He still dropped the bomb. He's fine.
Whatever.
Nothing can kill the goddamn Batman.
Except for Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
And it makes Detective Blake becoming Batman more poignant.
No, see, that can happen either way.
No, it's like, you know what? I'm done. I'm walking away.
Here's where you go to get all of my shit.
But you're not even going to take the time to train him. You're just going to let him fend for himself.
Nobody trained him. Oh, well,
yes, they did.
Technically, they did. Yeah. Duh.
He got a big ass training. So you're just going to let some rookie cop who's become a detective because he found Jim Gordon and saved his life. It's the only reason he's a detective.
Yep.
Become Batman without any guidance. No Alfred, no nothing. You're just...
Well, who's to say Alfred doesn't come back?
Alfred might come back, but Alfred's not really the guidance you need, is it? Alfred could show you where the shit is.
And
he can't
how a
teach
lot
it.
of it works. I mean, he knows how all the computer stuff works. He was always finding shit for Batman.
But he needs Batman, just like
and there
Robin.
There could also be an introduction to Lucius.
Again, that's not the person to train him. That's the person to help him, but not train him. He needs someone to train him.
He can just go to fucking karate class.
It's not the same fucking thing. Batman's trained by ninjas. Like, go to karate class. What the fuck?
He's young. He's got time. He can study all kinds of different things.
Shut the fuck up.
Karate and judo and Wichi-Ru.
You threw that in for Corey. I'm just saying, if he is alive, he has sold him out because he's going to get thumped the first time he goes on the streets.
No, he's not, because he's just going to take on some punk burglar or something.
Ugh. I say he died. Makes me happier that he died.
He didn't die.
It's more closure for me.
All right.
When they reveal that his name is Robin and not whatever Detective Blake's first name is.
Yeah.
How much did you want them to say Dick?
Yeah.
Like, you wanted him to be Dick Grayson as much as I did.
A little bit, yeah.
Like, the fact that his middle name or real name's Robin is okay and makes me happy, but not as happy as his name being Dick Grayson would have been.
No, that would have been a huge, like, nod to comic fans.
It would have been. I mean, it's a huge nod that his name's Robin.
It is,
but it's all.
Well, it's more of a nod to the character, I think.
Yeah.
But
what else would I like to see? When he's trying to get rid of the bomb. If I had heard Christian Bale say in his Batman voice, "Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb," I would have come on the spot.
You think?
Oh, instantaneously. I would have fallen on the floor. It would have.
You would have looked like Dean Pelton in that episode of Community when he sees Jeff in Aviators.
Yes, that would have been me, because that would have. There's another nod. I mean, there was no nod made to the original Batman series.
No.
I like when nods are made.
Yeah, little nods are cool.
Because someone paved the way for you to be able to do that.
Yep.
And it's Adam West and Burt Ward have paved the way. Because from my understanding, the Batman comics were doing pretty shitty in the 60s. Once they did that TV show, it brought Batman. Batman was on the verge of being a canceled comic in the 60s.
Can you imagine?
And Adam West saved Batman, is my understanding.
Well, because back then it would have been all about Superman, right?
Right.
Superman was the man.
But, I mean, he was still, I don't know. God, I love the 60s Batman. And the movie. The Rogues Gallery. All of them in the same movie.
Yeah, it was all good stuff.
You know what I really loved about Dark Knight Rises? Is his and Bane's fight, their first fight.
Yep.
When all this,
Everybody's just standing around watching.
But as soon as they start fighting, all the music and score stops.
Yeah.
All you can hear is them talking and their fists flying. It's just like in the football scene, all the music stops while the kids.
That was awesome.
While the kids singing the national anthem.
Yeah.
Like,
that was excellent.
That movie has score the entire way through, except for those spots where it shows you sometimes taking the score out is better than having a score, because that made those scenes way better.
It made them more powerful.
I think
more meaningful.
I think if you had big old fight music going on while him and Bane were fighting, it would have taken away from the fact that you could hear water dripping.
What I would appreciate about that is no shaky cam.
No, it was very steady.
Because I fucking hate shaky cam.
We both hate shaky cam.
Shaky cam is one of the worst things to happen to movie fights ever.
I understand the necessity for shaky cam back in the day, or for a movie that has a low special effects budget.
But during fight scenes,
it takes away from the fact that they don't have a budget.
Or a good choreographer.
When you do have a budget, like Transformers,
I was just going to say,
that's all CGI. Why the fuck is there a shaky cam going on?
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with shaky cam right there is Transformers. I mean, Optimus Prime beating up some no-name Decepticon, but you can't make it out because of shaky cam. Which is why 300 frequently tops my favorite lists of action movies because it's like the anti-shaky.
Yeah, it's
cam
shaky
movie.
when there's no action going on, and as soon as there's action, it goes steady
wicked slow-mo.
and slow motion.
Awesome.
I love that movie.
Yeah, it's a fantastic movie.
I think we're done talking about Batman for now,
Mm-hmm.
just because I think for Christmas we're gonna do a little Batman present,
Yeah, well,
which we're not gonna
we're going to work
yet.
that out. We need to hammer out some details.
Yeah, so we got a little. We're gonna give our audience a present
Yes.
from us to you.
Yeah.
Which I think will be good. I like it so far. Once we
Yeah.
hammer out our details, but
Exactly. Could be interesting. Should be fun.
let's talk about some other lovely stuff. There's a possible director signed for the new Star Wars movie.
Oh, shit. I read who it was,
It's
too.
Matthew Vaughn.
Nope, that's not the one I read.
He's the director for X-Men First Class and Kick-Ass.
Excellent.
Like, if you believe the stories, he's already signed.
Cool.
A lot of people have turned it down, though.
I've read some of that, too, which is weird. And, of course,
Would you want to be the one? I think
Yeah,
if they
exactly.
go past this
the pressure is
trilogy-
going to be huge.
If they go past this trilogy, I think you'll see more directors get on board and want to try it.
Well, that could, I mean, is he signed on for the trilogy or just the first movie is the question, right?
I think he's just signed on for the first one. Not
Because, I mean, the first movie could be the telling point for directors wanting to or wanting, not to.
yeah, I mean, it really depends how it's received. If it's received great, then, all the ones who said no, like Ben Affleck, Fleck, Christopher Nolan, I've heard they've all been asked and said no. I wouldn't mind Jon Favreau doing it.
Yeah, that could be interesting. And I read recently a Hamill interview where he said he was open to the idea.
So is Carrie Fisher
Of
and
being
Billy
Luke.
D. Williams.
But he also said he would have no problem if they went either direction from him, like if they went a lot older and he couldn't do it because he's not old enough, or if they went younger and he's not young enough. He would have no problem not doing it as well, depending on what the story is. So I thought that was somewhat gracious of him.
Well, I mean, he's being gracious because he wants to be fucking in it.
Yeah, good chance.
There's no way of coming out and saying, you can't do Luke Skywalker without me, motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. I guess if they're going to go the route and keep those people in it, Hamill, Fisher, you really have to get Harrison Ford. You can't have
Harrison Ford.
You can't have them and not go with Harrison Ford.
No, because then it breaks up the dynamic of having, all of them back.
Yeah.
You can't have someone else.
Hey, look, it's the original. Oh, who the fuck is that guy?
But then you have to write a reason he's dead. Instead of just having them older.
Yeah.
Having the kids be there, because the kids are powerful. Like, Han and Leia's kids in the books are all Jedis.
Yeah.
So, that's probably where you'd want to go, because then you're launching those kids to be in all the next movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see, even if they do put...
Oh, it can't be based around Luke and Han.
No. They have to be supporting.
Yeah.
And
Like-
only for the first movie, with maybe little bit pieces in other ones.
Yeah.
But they really need them to launch new people, I think.
Like hand over the torch.
I think so.
Yeah. If they go that route. I mean, who knows what they're going to do. I mean,
No idea. But
Yeah.
I trust them.
Yeah.
I heard the guy who wrote, or partially wrote, Empire Strikes Back is on board for writing all three of them.
oh, well, that's good because, Empire was the best one.
Exactly. So
So that's not a bad thing.
that's it for me, brother. What do you got?
Well, two things. Number one, I'd like to make a shout out to I've spammed people on my friends list on Xbox Live. So
My friends on my Xbox Live are you guys, so there's no point in spamming you.
Yeah, well, I'm up to the 100 friend limit now.
Really?
I've been accepting every friend request pretty much.
Yeah, that's just because people want to buy your name.
It's true.
Which
but
I'm going to bring it up. That you turned down $700 for your gamer tag.
I did.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, but I don't think the guy was legit.
I don't think he was
Because when
either.
I said no, he started fishing me for personal details as if he was going to get enough info
to try to steal
either
it.
call Xbox Live or log into it and steal it.
Yeah. What? Because I mean, no other offer has ever been even close to that. Has
No,
it?
I'm getting like $50 and $60, and I think 100 was the highest before that. And then I get offers for Microsoft points all the time, like 1,600, 2,400, whatever. And I also get like, I'll give you my gamer tag plus this amount of points or money or whatever. So I usually tell them my standard response is just no dice. And but yeah, so I've been spamming people every once in a while on my friends list to come listen to us here, and I got a compliment on our YouTube channel the other day from one of them. I have no idea who he is in real life, but I'd like to thank anybody who is listening from the friends list of Vans
I just want to thank anyone who's listening
for
period.
listening. So I appreciate that. I'll probably spam you all again. I think what I might do is change my tactic and spam every week we put an episode up. I'll just put episode 7 up or episode 8 up.
Yeah.
Whatever, and see what happens. So I appreciate that guy who messaged me the other day. S6, I believe, was his gamer tag, so that's pretty cool. And the other thing is, I'll try to be as quick as I can, the government pissing me off.
Oh, the government's always pissing us off. Mostly you, though.
There's a report in one of the papers today, National Post, Globe and Mail, who knows. There's a senator, Mike Duffy, I believe his name is.
I thought he was just an analyst. Like,
He was a broadcaster.
yeah,
Yeah. So here's the deal.
like
He's
Fat
a senator.
Paul,
He's
right?
a senator now. I don't know if it's that. Like this was all on the radio for me. So he's lived in Ottawa or the Canada area since the 70s.
Okay.
He bought a house in the early 2000s, $293,000 in that area, Canada, Ottawa.
Okay.
5 years later, after buying the house, he gets appointed to the Senate. Great. That's a cushy job.
Yeah,
Whatever.
It's a for-life job, isn't it?
So yeah, it is. So good for him. 15 years prior to him being appointed to the Senate, he's owned a cottage in Cavendish in PEI.
Okay.
When he became senator, he flip-flopped and said, "Oh, my primary residence is the one in PEI." Bang, $900 a month housing allowance to pay for his house in Ottawa.
What a douche.
And lots of people were asking, well, maybe it's true, but he files his taxes in Canada, he votes in Canada, and he's lived there since the 70s. So, in other words, we're paying the mortgage on his $300,000 house in Ottawa. That pissed me off. And I'm sure he's not the only one. It's just
Oh, no, they all do it.
whether he just...
You can't be kicked out of the Canadian Senate. It's not like the U.S. Senate where you're voted. You're
Nope.
appointed to the U.S. Senate.
Yep.
It's kind of like Supreme Court justices in the States.
Once you're in, you're in.
You're in till you die.
Well, I imagine a Supreme Court justice could do something vile enough. Like,
You mean like
I mean, let's
put
not forget-
put a pubic hair on a can of Coke and sexually harass someone?
no, but he got in during that. But
He was already in.
no, that was his vetting process.
Was it? I thought
That
he
was him
already-
getting in.
Oh, I thought he was already in, and then
No.
he was accused of that.
No, I'm pretty sure that was his process of getting in. But at the same time, if next week it was discovered that he's been having sex with 10-year-old boys,
Is his name Kevin Cash? Oh, I'm sorry. Allegedly,
yeah,
and and from all the accusers, he hasn't had sex with any of them while they were underage. It's just been heavy petting and making out.
uh-huh.
So,
My response to that is, okay, fine. You know what? He was too old for them, regardless of what they did. Sex or
yes.
not sex.
I mean, that's inappropriate. That's
but
wrong.
some of them are claiming mental problems as a result. They were on gay chat lines on purpose. What did they expect?
I don't know. I've never been on a chat line,
Well,
gay or
neither have I.
straight.
Yeah,
I don't
neither
know
have
what. I don't know what you're. I don't know if you're there trolling for ass or if you're just trolling for conversation.
Let's be serious. The guys are trolling for ass.
Yeah, because
So-
gay guys would be like straight guys. As soon as
Yeah.
you're talking to someone else, it's all about, am I going to sleep with this person or not?
Exactly. So those were my two things. The shout out to anybody who's listening, especially some of the random strangers on my Xbox friends list. The government pisses me off. That's a daily thing, probably.
Let's check. Let's do one more shout out
All
to
right.
see if she actually listens all the way to the end.
Oh, yeah?
Because someone was supposed to come with us to Big Sugar last week, and she wussed out. She was excited for a month and then wussed out. So, Perry Ann, you missed an excellent show. We rule and you suck.
And you can tell me if you heard that on Friday, because I believe
The episode won't be up on Friday, you jackass.
it won't be up on Friday, so never mind.
She'll hear
I was
it
gonna
next
say.
week.
She'll tell me, okay.
Monday.
So Wednesday, I believe, is the next day I'll be dropping him off, Alex off at her house, so she can tell me then.
Excellent. Well, that's it for us for this week. You can follow us on Twitter at FairlyOddCast.
And on Facebook at facebook.com/FairlyOddCast.
And we do love each and every one of you that listens to even a bit, but we love the ones who listen to the end even more.
Exactly. Thanks, everybody.